What's going on, Button Mashers? I'm Mr. Gamer.
And I'm Kitty the Ball.
And welcome to episode 17 of SBRReports. You gotta listen, Morty.
Okay, you doing that is making me want to actually belch and hiccup.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You just made my stomach hurt.
Okay, it was practice, okay? But don't worry. Your stomach will be cringing significantly later after this. But let's move on to our first story, which is a okay.
It's a kind of sort of update, but not really type deal. So, it's Final Fantasy VII Remake. You know that thing they've been throwing at us, Final Fantasy fanboys and girls, all this time, but have not delivered really yet.
Do we need a remake of Final Fantasy VII?
Let's see. Maybe
it's a valid question.
Do we need a remake of anything?
There are some things we actually do legitimately need remakes of.
Like?
Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie.
Yeah, they had ukulele for that. Anyway.
What?
Anyway, so, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Cloud looks magnificent. But essentially it's supposed to be coming out for the PS4, but they still have not given street dates. And this year is their 20th anniversary, and the last milestone, November 17th, will mark the 20 years to the day when Final Fantasy was finally released in Europe. Because, you know, when it comes to releasing video games, Europe, for some reason, with all their rules and regulations, just get it last.
And I guess it's a big deal because it's also going to be on the Nintendo Switch, and I'm okay with the Nintendo Switch. Supposedly, and I'm okay with the Nintendo Switch getting this specific title. I guess I'm a little bit conflicted because this is something I would actually more so expect on a PS4, just the PS4. I mean, obviously it can be on the Switch. That'd be great.
Well, let's be fair. The Japanese people like selling their Japanese stuff just like American people like selling their American stuff. If two companies could come together and be all like, hey, let's sell our Japanese stuff because we know these reebs are gonna want it.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's face it. Only the corniest, myself included,
glad you're doing that,
want a Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah.
And personally, Final Fantasy VII wasn't even my first Final Fantasy game. It was Final Fantasy VIII. If they made a remake of that, you couldn't tell me anything. You could be like, oh, it's gonna suck. Oh man, his face is actually over there in the clouds. I don't care. Squall's Bay. Let's go.
Alright then. So, moving on from your girl crush. We're going to
emo boys.
We're going to move on to something, I guess this one is actually news, but it's kind of a
Explodium Boltress.
Okay, so Niantic is going to be making another augmented reality game. You're probably wondering, but they're doing so well with Pokemon Go. Why don't they just focus on that, right?
Oh man, your sarcasm is dripping tonight.
Yeah, you can cut that with a knife. So instead of Pokemon that they're going to be bastardizing with augmented reality.
You mean releasing to the public?
So instead of Pokemon that they're going to be bastardizing with augmented reality, it's going to be the magical world of Harry Potter.
Now, to be fair, when Pokemon Go was announced and was first happening and everybody had their rose-colored shades on and were like, what problems? We don't see no problems. Mm-hmm. People were begging for Harry Potter. And I remember this specifically because I was on Tumblr and people were freaking storyboarding and everything in between on how the sorting hats would go, on how how pretty much everybody, you know how we have our three gangs essentially from Pokemon Go?
Yeah, Mystic, Instinct, and Valor.
Yeah. So Amazing, Turkey Bird, Big Bird. So yeah.
Okay, the game is called Harry Potter Wizards Unite, and I feel like this is I don't feel confident in this specific game. Now, in the article released by Niantic, they state that Players will learn spells, explore their real-world neighborhoods and cities to discover and fight legendary beasts and team up with others to take down powerful enemies. I'm sorry, that sounds very much like Pokemon Go. And then you can actually take one step further. Pokemon Go just sounds a whole lot like Ingress, the first big game that Niantic made. And I'm just like, okay, so instead of having 3 teams in Pokemon, you're going to have 4 houses in Harry Potter. So
I mean, no lie, like...
What's the difference?
I mean, instead of repping my blue for Mystic, I'm going to be repping yellow for Hufflepuff.
Oh, you're a Hufflepuff? Oh, dear.
You didn't know this? What are you? Oh, wait, let me guess. A Ravenclaw.
Gryffindor!
Anyway, you overdramatic child, you.
Hey, they love it. So yeah, I'm gonna put this on the
that happened.
I'm gonna put this on the that happened plate. I'm not.
But I mean, as game reviewers, we're gonna get it.
I mean, I'm going to assume that it's going to be free, but I'm just like, okay, so you're gonna learn spells. So instead of capturing monsters in Pokemon Go, you're going to learn spells. Exploring real world neighborhoods, they'll just be places for you to go that then your house can take over. And then you fight legendary beasts like you go into raids. So once again, I'm just like...
I'm sorry, I just had the best thought.
And what was that?
Witches and warlocks, pretty much, at churches. You know how, like you have the Pokestops, like the church right by my house is a Pokestop. Oh my gosh!
That's gonna be a thing. Unfortunately, that is
my
going
grandma
to
gonna
be...
throw holy water on my ass.
You have fun with that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have her throw it at you too. Don't play. We going down together. So,
in the article that Niantic released, there isn't anything close to a release date, but stay tuned to our social channels for updates as we work to bring this game to life. And will that mean, they're going to have to divert some effort from Pokemon Go to this. I still know a couple of people who still play Pokemon Go. The Discord servers are, still...
I took it off my phone.
Yeah, I've been took that game off my phone.
After you told me to put it back on my phone.
Okay, yes, that was at one time, and you won't let me forget it, will you?
No, because all my Pokemon died.
Your Pokemon didn't die, they fainted. There's a difference. Pokemon,
they did.
They fainted.
But I can't bring them back to life.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what we want to bring back to life? We want to bring back third-party development. Segue. Awesome. So, an article by GamesIndustry.biz talking about specifically third-party games on Nintendo systems. And taking that even further, third-party games for the Nintendo Switch. And CEO Gary Williams states that the opportunities are there for boxed games on the Switch following the digital indie gold rush. I'm sure that if you've been following the SBR, you know that when we saw the Nindies, like even the first set of indie titles that were coming out.
What is he the CEO of?
He is the CEO of...
Sold Out.
Yeah, Sold Out.
Yeah, because it sounded like you were talking about the CEO of Nintendo real quick.
No, okay, my apologies. Thank you for that clarification. But if you've been following SBR, you know I loved the first set of indie titles that they got on the Switch. First one I picked up, Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Let's go. Who doesn't love a game where you are essentially a child that your mother had a voice from God to kill you, so you lock yourself in a chest and you cry the tears of whatever you just happen to be thinking of yourself as while you're trying to
if I just want to relive childhood trauma, I'll just read my diaries.
Can't wait for Thursday.
I hate you.
I know. But anyway, so Gary Williams talks about how some developers are saying that it's really difficult for them to get their systems out on Nintendo platforms when, you've got big Nintendo titles like Super Mario Odyssey, which, let's face it, that game is awesome.
A review should be coming soon, shouldn't it, Mr. Gamer?
Yes!
But like, to be fair, Nintendo doesn't kind of sort of owe anybody anything when it comes to putting anything out, just like any other company, because they're going to focus on their titles and IPs.
Yes, and I could see where Gary Williams was coming from, stating that you can make a successful third-party game on Nintendo. You just, I think Dark Souls puts it up very well. You got to get good, as Sonic would say. You got to step it up.
I mean, is Sonic really someone we're going to listen to about getting good? He kind of fell off. Ate too many chili dogs.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't
care
what
in Tails' basement.
Okay, yes, there was that Sonic for Hire short on YouTube. By the way, you should watch that. It's actually pretty funny, a bit adult. But anyway, I want to say that maybe, okay, aside from the very smug way that he put it, quote, the opportunities are there. Nintendo does not exclude you. It just asks you to up your game. If it were easy, everyone would do it.
I mean, it's kind of true. I mean, PC gaming kind of proves that. Like, Steam proves that. Like, watching not just Jim Sterling, but everybody talk about it.
I mean, it's not...
Everybody and their mama does it.
Yeah, and right now, the Switch is hot and only getting hotter, and Super Mario Odyssey didn't necessarily cool anything down.
Like, I personally believe that when people put games out on consoles, that is them needing, not, okay, this is good, maybe. No, this is them needing to put the best foot they possibly can forward on any console, not just Nintendo, because, well, consoles are expensive to average gamers.
Oh, and before we continue on, there is something that was said in this article that I do just kind of want to get out there. Just last week, Electronic Arts confirmed it's still undecided whether to ramp up support for Nintendo's new device beyond another FIFA outing, but other publishers remain confident that they can achieve decent sales on the Switch. Now, before the mass exodus of NeoGAF, I was able to go onto that forum, and I came across a particular post on that forum, which kind of opened my eyes to what I believe Electronic Arts what their true intentions are with the Switch and why they made the claim that they are undecided about the Switch. You and I recently discussed games as a service where everything is online based. You're not always online with your Switch, are you?
No, but Nintendo is going to be having that service starting next year.
But more specifically, the comment that was made on NeoGAF was, we can't sell our online service on a system that isn't always online. We can't really get all the money out of you because essentially when you buy an EA game but then you're offline, well, you're not paying us anything anymore. It's just that one-time fee. It's not that subscription-based service. It's not all those microtransactions.
I mean, to be perfectly fair, EA, no, not my coin, not my purse. Not my coin, not my purse.
EA sucks. I'm just saying, EA sucks.
But, like, seriously, yeah, bigger companies are obviously money grabs, blah, blah, blah. But I want to focus on the indie people because the indie people are what matter.
Yeah, like,
And the thing is, Stardew Valley started off indie.
Yeah.
On PC. And then it got popular, and now it's on the freaking Switch.
Like, I think
where it should be.
Okay, and I think it is the number 2 sold game on the Nintendo eShop.
Yeah.
Number 2.
I mean, I don't know what Nintendo was doing by not grabbing Undertale. PlayStation grabbed that like, come here, boy.
Okay, well, okay, yeah, I gotta give that one to you. I would, like, I'm wondering what they're waiting for on that one.
Like, that's a game that was so popular, but a lot of people also couldn't play that because not everybody's a PC gamer.
True.
But now it's on a console, and let's face it, the casuals are, as PC Master Race likes to put it apparently, are on consoles. So of course once they see the most popular game that just blew up overnight.
It really did. I mean, it was an amazing game. But going on to consoles, we are talking about PlayStation, which according to our main story, is nothing but a piece of trash. There was an article on TechSpot.com where there was an interview with Microsoft exec Phil Spencer about the Xbox One X.
What about people with the last name Spencer that this make me rage?
I have no answer to that one.
For people who caught that, wink, wink.
Oh my goodness. All right. So on CNBC, he was interviewed talking about the Xbox One X. I need to make sure that I pronunciate this correctly. There is the Xbox One S and there's the Xbox One X.
I really hate they chose those two letters. Wow. Y'all suck.
Why is that?
S and X. S and X. Yeah. My list. Come on, son.
Okay. So basically, as he was reviewing, the biggest point that he made was that this is the most powerful console on the market right now. Mm-hmm. And that because of the most powerful console on the market right now there's the highest price tag of any console out right now, that he said, quote, "This is for the discerning connoisseur of gaming that has a 4K television who wants to see the absolute best visuals. This box is definitely targeted toward the customer that buys the most and plays the most." End quote. Are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? The game has no exclusives. There is something that is not as powerful, same model, but for $250 in the article, in the
video embedded in the article.
Thank you. In the video embedded in the article, he talks about how gamers are playing things across multiple systems. He's talking about Azure, which is Microsoft's cloud for those who don't know. He's talking about gaming on mobile devices. He's talking about gaming on Windows and things like that. And yeah, you can have the most powerful console in the world, but if you don't have any exclusives and you also have the same thing, but for $250 versus $500, why would you waste your time?
Also, not everybody and their mom are going to buy a 4K television. Not even those who played the most games. Because I know a lot of gamers, Mr. Spencer, and I know a lot of them are not about to drop that type of money when they just got the other thing and buy a new TV just because they have the other thing and you have nothing to offer them. Not even a TV with it. If they offer like even a smaller size TV to go with this.
But it's like, but here's the thing. It's like, I don't understand.
It's to push the 4K television. That's it.
And okay, I understand how it makes financial sense in the big business world, but as far as like for the consumer, for the gamer, why does that matter? If you give us crap versus shiny crap, guess what, Doc? It's still crap. I don't care if it's in 4K. It's still crap.
Yeah.
Who decided? Who made the decision in gaming across what seems to be just the general public, unfortunately, that what gamers want is 4K? Why? And so, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought gamers want, I don't know, good games, not pretty games.
I mean, I want pretty good games, but you know, I personally just really feel like because 4K TVs is the hottest thing when it comes to upping your graphics on the television. Almost everybody has one. Well, no, that's a lie. Not a lot of people have them in their household right now. Maybe when Black Friday hits, maybe. But there's no reason to have one.
I'm not paying $500 for a console with no exclusives when I can get the same thing cheaper and like honestly, who is going to significantly notice if something is in 4K? If your video game can truly, I believe that if your video game can only be enjoyed at the highest graphics quality, I don't think that that's a good game because you're severely limiting your audience. Because games should be good games based off gameplay and story. Games should not be good purely based off of graphics.
This is truly for the graphic jerk-offs.
Like, not to mention, you are being unfortunately, I really have to. I have to say this like that stupid Rick and Morty title. It's like you are literally being sheeple, thinking that the thing that you actually want is good graphics. But if the game that you're playing is terrible, does it really matter whether it's in 4K, 1K, 16K?
Okay, you made me cringe. You're like on timeout for a minute.
No!
Like that with that Seepo line.
Oh my god.
So the thing is that people are essentially, they're trying to bamboozle you. This is
stupid.
It's pretty silly.
Like there is no reason for you to spend $500 on a console.
Honestly, the way he was putting this too, this really reminded me of every fedora wearing tilted milady asshole talking about, oh, to be fair, you need a higher level of IQ. Like, no, I don't. I wear glasses.
Like, no,
this
is actually just this. Like, there's just like. Even, okay, so let's take graphics out of the question. $500, what exclusives? What games can I only play on this? Well, there's backwards compatibility. Great. So that means that there's backwards compatibility on a $250 model, and I don't have to pay that much on there?
Also,
awesome.
Backwards compatibility, those games aren't made pretty unless you up their thing somehow, which means they're going to play horribly.
Like, I just don't, I really... Yeah, I don't like this.
Because unless it's a remake, it's going to play horribly on higher graphics.
Yeah, this is
it's going to look like a stressed out MS Paint job.
Hopefully it doesn't look that bad on what they are saying is the world's most powerful console.
Yeah, it's going to look that bad. If you put an older game on something like that, it always looks bad.
What I also love is the fact that the gentleman stated that he admits that this is not for everyone. And I appreciate the fact that you're basically, cutting your audience right there. Because remember when everyone was talking about how PC gaming was just for, the elites, and then, computer parts actually got pretty cheap. And now, little Timmy and little Susie can build their own gaming computer.
I mean, I don't know why little Timmy and little Susie's building their own computer. They shouldn't be online at all with these modders.
I'm just saying that the door for PC gaming is open to quite a few people, but this $500 console is only there for the elites. It's only there for the top tier, the hardcores, let me make sure I'm saying this correctly, the discerning connoisseur of gaming. Like, I think there was an episode of Food Wars about this stupid crap. I
rolled my eyes so hard when he not when I read it, but when he said it. And in that moment, button mashers, Kitty Duvall was about to punch Mr. Gamer Screen. Because
I'm glad she didn't do that one.
I always rage so hard at the pretentiousness, the narcissism of it all. Because at the end of the day, if you want to get this pretty thing, get this pretty thing. But it's not as great as they're making it sound.
It's not. And Microsoft, I know that you probably don't waste your time listening to this, but if you do, hi, thank you for listening. And then secondly, please, whatever focus group that you have that's telling you that the biggest thing in gaming right now is to make things 4K and pretty, you're wrong. The biggest thing in gaming is and always has been make good games.
And I understand wanting to keep up as televisions and graphics and things start to get higher, because eventually 4K TVs will be cheap enough for everybody and their mama to get. Maybe it's already cheap, but I just have no reason to buy a new TV right now. Because, remember when 1080p became a thing? It wasn't in everybody's house at first.
No, it wasn't.
But, game developers and everybody were already starting to make things for that, which makes sense. But to make a whole damn console, and not have one, but two that pretty much do the same thing. Yeah. One just is more expensive and does the prettier graphics. It doesn't make sense, man. Doesn't make sense.
I guess it's like you previously mentioned, if you want to, jerk yourself off to how pretty the graphics are, I guess, even though you're playing, a crap game like FIFA or Madden or something like that, then by all means.
I will slap somebody.
Go ahead. I mean, sure.
I'll slap your mama.
Whatever floats your boat.
Not your mama. I like your
mama.
mama.
I would hope not.
I like your mom.
Like, but I mean, whatever floats your boat or finds a lost remote. I honestly think
Maybe find out someone got this just to play some 2K.
That would be terrible.
Oh,
that would be terrible, and I would feel for them. But
I mean, do you, boo boo?
Yeah, I guess
if you got that type of money, do you, boo boo?
Yeah. Those 4K microtransactions in NBA 2K are going to be sweet. Totally.
And
right.
Those haircuts.
Oh,
you can see the crisp.
Oh, remember, but actually not all the haircuts, because some haircuts you have to unlock with loot boxes. So, unfortunately.
But when you get them, you can see that crispy cut. You can see that line up. You can see that fade.
Yeah,
I have no...
Okay. Anyway.
We should get you a fade.
Anywho, so I think we've basically determined that, at least between Mr. Vol and Mr. Gamer, the Xbox One X is...
Not worth it.
Not worth it at all.
Come back to me when it's like $250 apparently.
And we're talking about the
Xbox One XX.
Or... Okay, now that's going down a really slippery slope that we don't want to do.
MySpace!
And with that being said, this is Mr. Gamer.
This is Kitty the Ball.
Signing off.